Hey everybody, welcome to the Yard Show. As you know, you're on the Walk and Picker channel. We are going to be talking with H from Spokane Pickers again tonight. Hence the Spokane Pickers 2, since we had him back a couple of months ago. And as usual, I have my co-host, Cool Toads.
What's up?
So, for the people that are new to the show or catching this on some random YouTube search, we are a weekly show that is on Sunday nights from 7 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 9 o'clock Eastern, to at least an hour and a half later, maybe 2 hours, depending on how things are going. So, if you like what you see, please subscribe to all our channels and come back for more. John, would you like to do your introduction?
I am Cool Toads. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. The guys next door are playing a great bunch of music. But yeah. Anyway, I'm Cool Toads. I have a channel here on YouTube called Cool Toads, and a Toadcast on Friday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific. Anybody is invited. Well, just about everybody's invited. Just if you want to come on, send me a message. I'll bring you on. No big deal. Have fun. And also I have a Facebook page called Cool Toads Pad, but I really don't do anything on there. You can join it if you want, hit like or whatever. But other than that, here we are.
And H?
I'm H from one of the Spokane Pickers. Jake couldn't be here tonight. He's in California, kind of doing a little pick vacation deal. Yeah, we've been selling for 2 or 3 years. eBay and Amazon, Craigslist, and yeah, just loving every minute of it.
John's already wanted to know what part of Cali is Jake in.
You didn't have to say that.
Well,
I think he flew into Burbank. That's about all I know.
Oh God, yeah. As long as I go to Disneyland or something.
Well, I know he's got a pile of gems already. He sent me some pictures of some of his thrift hauls already, so he's doing a little work-wise there. That's always good.
Awesome, heck yeah.
well,
I didn't know if they wanted to announce where he was, so that's why I put it in the chat.
Well, I just want to refresh everybody's memory that last time you were here, we didn't really get our full time in because of computer issues on many more levels than just one. So we did kind of cover the antique booths as best as we could at that time, and we did a lot of basic questions. So tonight I try to do a couple more intermediate type of questions for us. And if you do have questions, please share them in the booth chat so John can either share them with me so I can ask them, or he can ask them himself. We appreciate all the questions you guys have. That's the way everybody can learn. As we all know, the chats disappear after the shows are over. Well, you already basically did a little quick bio recap of yourself, so I'll just go right into my first question. A while back, you shared a picture of a pinball machine. I think it was a KISS machine, pinball machine that Sean actually shared. I reshared it, and a friend of mine that lives in Washington asked me if I wanted help selling it, and I said no, it was somebody that I know from Washington, so I don't know if you turned around and sold that pinball machine yet?
How long ago was it? We haven't had a KISS. It must have been a different one. Could it have been Bobby Orr? Hockey?
I thought it was a music one. I could be wrong.
It wasn't a KISS. We haven't had a KISS. Oh, there was a long time ago we had a Disco Fever. It was probably the Bobby Orr we had recently, I would think. We still have it, actually. We're trying to get maybe like 800 or 900 out of it. It's in really good shape for as old of a pinball as it is. So, yeah, if anybody's interested in hearing more about it or seeing pictures, just send us a message.
Yeah, I figured I'd try helping you guys out by sharing it on my wall. And first person that notices it is somebody that's in Washington already. Chris, want me to help you? I'm like, no, it's actually my friends.
Yeah, it's amazing. We've actually, out of all the things that we, showed in videos and with haul videos and stuff like that, we've sold some things here and there. But pinball machines and arcade games, we've had really good luck with people just seeing them in our pickup videos and contacting us. We sold a Battletoads stand-up arcade machine a couple years ago on YouTube, which was really cool. And we've just seems like there's a big collector group out there that are always looking for them. So.
Well, that's why I figured I'd ask because I remembered it, and I was like, well, he's gonna be on. I might as well ask him what's going on.
Yeah, still available if anybody's interested.
Hey, what about that game that you got in Idaho? Just like the end of February.
Okay, was that
Or did you-
stand-up arcade? You know what? That's
Yeah.
still sitting in there. We don't even know what that is, to be honest.
Still
with you.
no.
No, we haven't. I mean, we haven't really dug into it too much. I did tinker around with it and like just clean the outside because it was crazy. It was so dirty. I cleaned the outside and then like plugged it in and let it sit for quite a while, and then eventually we got the screen to turn red, and I guess that's not such a bad sign. At least there's like some life in there, So Jake will probably try to work on it. He's really trying to get into soldering and hardcore video game repair. And if he can't fix it, then we have a pinball arcade guy that we'll call and have him come in and do it. But it's good to see that at least there's some life in it,
Yeah, definitely.
It was in a pretty much abandoned barn with holes in the wall and, rats living in there and raccoons. And the weather was just blowing in, through the side. So, those things really stand up. They take a beating and keep going. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so that must have been you don't tell me how much, but you must have paid a pretty small penny to take a chance on something that big. Huh?
Yeah. Well, and it was the kind of thing where we had seen it earlier in the day. We're poking through this barn. It's a 4 or 5 hour adventure. The guy's with us the whole time, and we're just pretty much pulling stuff out and making a pile. And there's multiple buildings at different locations, and that seems to happen a lot on private picks. Is they'll have a building here, and then down the road, 100 yards or 2 miles, they'll have another building. It was that kind of situation. So we were in the other building at the end of the day, and we said, hey, let's go back and get that thing. And he had told us $50 on it, so that's what we paid for it. Non-working, but it did come with a board, a PCB board, which is basically the motherboard inside of the arcade, and those can be valuable, 50 to several $100 depending on what
cool.
it is. And it turned out to be a Pac-Man, which is decent. You probably get a little money out of it. So it came with that extra one, which was kind of a good sign too. Like maybe he was talking about seeing it working and stuff, so that was a good sign that it had worked at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, we all know what's been going on in the Northeast. So out in the Northwest, I know Sean's out there too, but you're more where the rain comes and everything else. Has the weather been near you been good enough to go just like garage sailing or regular picking without having to go to the thrift stores?
Well, this spring has been phenomenal. The winter was a little tough, just like it always is. But we had a real short winter this year, and the sun's out, and it's 50 to 60 degrees a lot of days, and that's just enough to get those garage sales popping. And we've had quite a few so far. March has been pretty crazy. Every weekend we're 10, 15, 20 sales, which isn't that many compared to the summer, but it's a nice little group to get started on. And we're finding stuff out there already, so that's good. I think on a normal year, there's probably still snow and stuff. There's usually not sales going on this time of year. Usually it's April before they really start popping.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering because, like I said, we all know how the snow's been hitting the Northeast instead of you guys. Usually
it's not hitting us. Yeah, I feel bad for those guys because it sucks. The snow and really pushes out your winter thrift season, and those thrift stores are tough right now, man. It's competitive out there. Especially in the winter over here. You got 4 or 5 guys standing side by side, all sitting on iPhones looking stuff up. I mean, and we find stuff, but it's it's tough out there. There's definitely a lot of people out there looking. So. It's nice to get out in those yard sales.
Hey, Sean, you want to do a couple of shout-outs?
Here, Angie Martin. What's up, Angie? She says, Chris, I didn't even recognize him because of your haircut and everything.
Well, if you went back to the last video we just did last night, you'll see a big difference.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Maureen, the free pile picker, welcome. You were here first today. Cool. Pretty exciting, huh? Trans Am, what's up? How's it going? What on earth? Sorry, people outside. Dino Dump, how's it going, man? PA Picker Dave, Joseph Hare, Blue Skies Bits and Bobbles, all loyal watchers. Oh, man. Debbie Beeshan?
Again.
Every time. I'm like Chad with that name. I get it stuck on a name and I can't figure it out. Wade Harad, welcome, man. Oh my God, Drop Shipper, what's up? Oh, Dope Shipper? No, Dope Hipster, hello. No, man, I'm blowing so much. Dana Boston, what's up? That's AKA the Old Man Picker. Funky Flying Monkey, hell yeah, I love that name. What's up? Michael Groins, first our show live. Welcome, awesome. Thanks for joining. Dirt and Rust, what's up? And that's all the ones that are in the chat. And ask your questions, people, please. You don't get a hold of the Spokane Pickers very often, so. Well, at least not on a live show.
And that's one of my questions I was going to have is, how often do you guys do new videos for people that might not already be subscribed to you?
Well, it really is just touch and go. We don't have really a schedule, but you know, we put them out as often as possible. This season's going to be a lot different. We've already put out one of our videos for the season, and that was the one on the last pick we did out there in Idaho. And that's going to probably be the style of our videos. We're not going to put a lot of energy into you know, editing quality and stuff like this, just because that's really what's prevented us from doing videos in the past and getting them out there. Is, you know, trying to make a cool video or a video with, you know, lots of cuts and angles and all this stuff. And really for us, it's just about documenting what we're doing together because we're having so much fun doing it. It just kills us not to actually have, even for ourselves, just that documented on video. Some of the situations we run into and some of the fun times we have together, just we don't want to look back and miss out on that. You know?
That and I know you guys do a lot of family time stuff together. So, you know, with kids and wives and all of that. So that's another reason they're so busy, because they spend a lot of time with their family as well. So.
Yeah, we both have families.
Number one, of course.
Yeah, and we're just, you know, we're just getting used to balancing all that, and
yeah,
it's coming though. There'll definitely be a lot of videos coming this spring and summer with all the garage sales going on. But they'll probably just be, you know, kind of just sneak peeks at what we're doing and what we're picking up, instead of kind of the longer, drawn out videos we've done in the past.
You should get those Florida picking queen calls, perv glasses, where they have the little camera in the middle.
Yeah.
And you walk around and record everything.
Yeah, I saw Dumpster Marcus had a pair of those a while back. I was like, yeah, those are awesome. Yeah, we rock the contours. We both have the little contours.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I have one in here, but they're, you know, they're like that long and that big around.
Yeah, little tiny. Yeah.
And it's still tough in the field, but you know, we had the little head strap where they go right here and stuff like that. And
they try to. Sorry.
What's that? Go ahead.
I was like, don't they try to say they're like GoPro in a way? Is that the one, or is that another GoPro?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're just like GoPro, but they're kind of a little more sleek, you know. And I don't know. We're gonna just go straight to iPhone. I got a VisiWig, which is a high-end editing app for my iPhone, and we're probably just gonna shoot with the iPhones and throw something together and just try to get it up there, because it's a shame, you know, when you experience something, you don't have a documentation of it or whatever, you know. I went to a pick on 2 nights ago that was insane. It was a crazy collector hoarder house, and you know, I'm fumbling around with my phone, just like, I took a bunch of pictures and stuff, but it's just like, it's a shame I didn't walk in there and take a video of that because it's just amazing. You know, some of the stuff you run into as a picker.
Yeah, no doubt.
And just gotta go back to my weather question. How do you adjust to the weather patterns in the northwest?
Well, you'll catch Jake. Jake wears long johns probably like 9 months out of the year, I swear, because he's just like super skinny, you know. I just wear a bunch of layers, and we go out in the rain, whatever. That doesn't really affect us. It does affect the sails a little bit, but it's good to go out anyway. Just, you know, if it's spring and it's raining, you might as well go out if there's sales scheduled, because you're gonna hit a sale that's still happening and nobody else is at because it's raining or whatever. I mean, it works in your favor sometimes too. So, you know, we go out in pretty much all different kinds of weather. It's just more of an issue of there's not a lot of sales going on in the dead of winter.
Okay. No questions in the chat yet, Sean?
No, but Debbie Beshin, now that I got it right, says that she's setting up her first FBA
All right, Debbie.
shipment. Heck yeah.
Okay.
I thought you got approved for industrials the other day, huh, Sean?
I did, man. I was surprised. I was like, sweet.
Nice. Yeah.
Then I went and applied for automotive, I think, and no answer yet. I'm like, oh man, that can't be good.
Yeah, I think it's like I thought it said like 16 to 24 hours. Should be getting a little message. I guess it depends on the category too, though, huh?
Probably, yeah. I figure it was. I think that was Friday when I did that, right, or Thursday. So I figure, you know, probably through the weekend they don't do much, but.
Yeah. What's up, Mr. Sadie?
Mr. Sadie, what's up, man?
My next question is: have you guys expanded your booth since the last time we talked? I know I asked you if you guys would.
Expand our booth?
Yeah, you know, like go to another add to it.
We've thought about that. You know, getting another booth at another location, or trying to get another 10 by 10 at the same place. They also have offered us the option to double up and get a double booth, you know, right there at the same joined together. A lot of people do that there. But there's a pretty good waiting list now. It's pretty competitive in there, and you know, we were in there in pretty much the very beginning. A couple months in, we joined after they opened, and now it's a lot more in demand. So I don't know if that's still an option, but no, we haven't expanded. You know, there's a lot of possibilities there. You can certainly double your booth, you know, and pay twice as much rent for a double sizer. A 20 by 10 is what it would be. But there's also the option of getting another one somewhere else, because you got to figure if you do a 20 by 10, you're not going to double up on your income. You know, it's not just like you have two of them, you're going to make twice as much. But if you have another one in another location and you can stock it as well, and it's just as good a location, you might be able to do something like that. So we're just kind of bouncing that around still, and we're not quite there. We're still kind of still trying to take good care of our 10 by 10.
Right. Well, kind of go into that, start heading into the topic a little bit. As a recap, how do you guys set up your booth? Like, do you like it setting it up messy? Like, some people like have messy yard sales. Some people like to have clean ones. They have to set up by eras. Like, say you have certain things from 1940s that you want to stay together.
Yeah, sure. Ours, I would say, is categorized by item. So, you know, you got your glassware with your glassware. You got your toys with your toys. You got your rust with your rust. That's probably the trend we kind of tend to follow. Typically, my style of decorating there is put it on the shelf, pack stuff in, spread it out, try to categorize it. That's as far as I can get. Jake has much more of a creative eye with the booth flow. I'm sure you've seen antique booths that are just, you know, it looks like somebody's house in there. And that's crazy to me, but you know, Jake really does have a good eye, so he's able to go through there and really give it a nice spin, a nice touch. So it does have a little bit of that flow, but other than categorizing it by what it is, I'm not really a part. I can't really, you know, do much beyond that. We just really try to push cool items in there. I think we're kind of known for having man cave items. And it's not all beer signs. I mean, sometimes it's just a piece of, it's just a sickle, a rusty sickle, or, anything man cave-ish and rusty, and even stuff. We put books in there and board games and video games too. But it's just we kind of have a reputation for having that man cave-ish stuff in there. So my style is just pack it in there. Just pack the more in there, the better.
Yeah.
Hey, I wanted to let everybody know that Albatross is listening in, watching on his phone, but the phone doesn't let him comment. So, but he wanted to say hi. Say hi to everybody.
What's up, dude?
Hope to see you back soon.
Trans Am wants to know he doesn't have any garage sale apps for his iPhone. Can anybody recommend any? I use Yard Sale Treasure Hunter.
Treasure
Is that
map.
the name of it? Yeah, I use one like that. Where the heck is my phone? But yeah, that one works excellent for me. I don't know if you guys use any other ones. Yeah. Oh, Yard Sale Treasure Map. Yeah, Dover said that.
Yeah, I have that one, and we also have the Craigslist app, but that doesn't seem to be working too well for us. So,
Yeah, I've been having trouble with my Craigslist app recently too. I think I'm about to upgrade or something. It's crazy. I actually use Safari and just search Craigslist from the browser. I don't know why it's so difficult. I can't believe that there's not a Craigslist app that does alerts properly and blah blah blah. I'm sure there's a paid one, but in the past there's been at least when I was on Android, there was a couple good apps for getting Craigslist alerts. At least a couple at a time. I'm not 3 or 4 alerts would be nice, 3 or 4 keywords, but it's crazy. There's nothing on iPhone. There's no. If you've heard of something, drop a message in the comments. But I can't believe that. It's like cutting into our pinball.
I see a question here from Wade Herod. He said, "What does a 10 by 20 run? Is it like Friday, Saturday, Sunday?"
You want to know the cost of it? Yeah.
Well, the cost of the 10 by 20 is like $170 ish, right around there. And then you got to give up 10%, and that's where we're at. So, but it's not. I don't know what you mean by Saturday, Sunday. It's it's open 7 days a week, and they run it. There's somebody at the till that runs it and everything.
Yeah, so I was going to say, Wade, it might be a different price, might be cheaper, it might be more expensive in your area, so you got to do the research there to find out.
Yeah, definitely. And we're in a 10 by 10. We've had the option in the past to upgrade, and we didn't. But yeah, I think it was under $200. But it may differ wherever you are. It probably will differ wherever you are.
Yeah, that's like $300 here.
Yeah, we got a good deal because it was just starting up, and we kind of took a chance, and it turned out, and then the Value Village moved in next door, and all this stuff happened, so the area developed, and now it's
nice. Yeah, you probably don't want to leave that spot.
Nah, we'll stick around. Yeah, we've never had a month where we're like, oh, we shouldn't be doing this,
Okay, this next question is probably going to get a lot of responses from our 24, 25 viewers that we have right now, because it's been a week-long debate, or started Wednesday night during the meet and greet. What, at least in your antique booth area, the place that you're in, what do they consider in years in the antique? 50 years, 20 years, 100 years?
In our area, there's no requirement for putting stuff in. So we put in, I put Magi Nation cards in there that are from 2000 and whatever. So you can put anything you want in ours. There's actually no requirement. They don't even call it an antique booth really. It's where we're at. It's called it's not all antique. One side's more antique and one side's not, and we're kind of on like the man cave side. It's a vendor mall. That's what they call it. So it's I've heard there's places where they have like a year requirement. Yeah, but I don't know what they would consider to be an antique in there. There is a specific year, isn't there? Isn't it like 50 or something?
That's what they were debating and arguing with golden finger picker.
Oh yeah, well that's probably a big debate there. I thought there was a specific year that was the year, but I don't know. So.
Yeah, it's like supposed to be 100 years from whatever he was saying, but he was sitting there adamant that it's 20 years. But I think 20 years is the vintage, not the antique.
Well, I know cars. Cars, I thought it was around the 20-year range. No, it was more. I thought like a car that's like in 80s. Isn't that considered? Well, like when you go to get emissions in the state of Washington, if your car is a certain amount of years old, they consider it like an antique or whatever, so you don't have to get emissions anymore or whatever. So I think it's in the 80s. So, but I don't know.
Yeah, it probably is. I mean, 1980 would be 25 years now. So. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
We have a
30
couple,
years? 35. Sorry.
Michael Goins, you Spokane Pickers, you guys ever set up a weekend antique shows, flea markets?
No, we don't set up, but we definitely go to them. There's a couple of them around the area. There's one out of the state line, Idaho, Washington state line. That's pretty. We've had some good luck there, but no, we don't set up at them. I would get a booth at one though, just to get in early. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
We've done that.
That's what we had as a guest. It was for a different, not for antiques, but just for a regular show. He said he wasn't going to be selling anything, but he got paid for a dealer's booth just so he can get in and buy things early.
Yeah, that's the way to go. We've done that. There's like a storage unit thing here where they do like a storage unit garage sale. So everybody that has a storage unit in that complex or whatever can turn it into a garage sale that day or whatever. And they have a really big turnout. And we've done that a couple of times. I think 2 years where we paid for like I think it was like $15 or $20 to rent a place to do your little yard sale, and then we just closed it up and walked around an hour early and bought all the video games. So yeah, that can be super good.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, there's other people doing it too, so it's not like the secret.
Well, yeah,
anything,
it's not. Yeah.
It's almost like a requirement anymore.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, I'm sure the place doesn't care as long as they're making their money. They're $15, $20. They're charging for the spot. They don't care how you use it.
Definitely, yeah, yeah.
Okay, now I don't know if you have much knowledge you have in this, but how can you somebody tell if something's vintage or antique?
Well, I wouldn't be able to look at something and tell you, based on any specific rule. But I just think of something that's vintage. I basically is not being as old. And actually, I think of something that's vintage as something I might know something about. Antiques, I don't know much about. I can call a lot of things vintage that we sell, and we do sell a lot of vintage stuff. But antiques are just, that's the big boy ball game, and we're still in the minor leagues probably in that respect.
Okay. Any new people popping in, Sean? Or
yeah, Bama Z-Man is in. He was saying the cars are 25 years in New York City for emissions and tags. Dirt and Russ was saying antiques are 100 years. I believe vintage is 30. Then Angie Martin and Funky Flying Monkey apparently live close by to each other. And Eric Tinker's Row Relics came in to hit the like button. Thanks, man. Good to see you in the house. Oh, Swamp Picker showed up too. He's in here as well.
Well, glad to see you all. Like we said, any more questions, just hit us up with them while I keep going through my little list. Which is a better place to search for antiques, a garage sale or an estate sale, in your opinion?
I don't want to say I hate estate sales, but I'm not a huge fan. In the past, I haven't been a huge fan of estate sales, company-ran estate sales, which is the majority of them anymore. And that's just, you stand in line with 20 other dealers, and you walk in, and it's really competitive. Everybody rushes around. You got to be on your shit. You got to know what you're looking at, and you got to be able to grab it and pay your money. And it's a lot. You got to know what you're looking at. And because we're just not on the level with antiques, I love, the regular garage style sale, just because it's lower pressure. You know what I mean? But if you're really after antiques, go to the estate sales. There's more. That's why the dealers are there, is because they don't love standing in line next to each other and they hate each other. But they know there's going to be gems inside there. It's almost like there's a guarantee if you go to so many company-ran estate sales that you're going to see big-time items. Now the price might, you might have to put out a pretty penny, and see that's where we kind of check out because we're not quite on the level where we can spend a huge chunk of money and turn it into a semi-huge chunk of money. We like to turn it, 50 cents into $50. But that's not really the estate sale game. The estate sale game is really high-end stuff a lot of times, and we found great $3 items that turned out to be $70, $100 items at company-ran estate sales. But it's not our specialty. But if you're after antiques, I would say go to the high-end estate sales and get there super early, and fight for a place in line, and hopefully you'll find something that you have knowledge about. You can pull the trigger on. One of the best finds we found at a company sale that I think Jake found it actually, but one of our favorite finds was an old barber mat, and it had a rip in it, and but it was super old. It was like, I think it was 60s barber mat, some kind of shave cream or something on it, and it was super cool. It was $3 the second day at an estate sale, and we sold it pretty much right away for $75. So just a really cool old vintage mat. And you think that wouldn't be sitting there with all those dealers walking by, but just down in the basement, and it did have a rip in it. And, that's what it was. It was one of those ones where there's not a lot of completed listings on it. You see that stuff a lot. Where it's like, hey, there's not immediate completed listings, so it's still sitting there. Everybody looks it up on eBay, and if it sells, they grab it. If it doesn't, they leave it, and so it's still sitting there. And it was just because it was kind of rare, So. Yeah, there can be good. There is good stuff at estate sales, but it definitely takes a higher level of skill, and can be disappointing at times too.
I went to a estate sale a few weeks ago. This house was amazing. It was like 5,000 square feet, and everything in it. I mean, there was very few, if anything, under $100. And I mean, a couple walls had like artwork. They were asking 10 grand for. I was like, damn, I'm afraid to touch anything. It's like, I do not belong here. This is not my area, at least not yet. Give me about 20 years, but yeah. Whew.
Yeah.
My next two questions have to do with eBay itself, where I think you also do eBay. You're not just an antique booth person. And this first question, it goes back to what me and Sean covered last night in my latest video before tonight. Would you ever give up 10 cents for a listing, like for 100, like say you had 100 items, would you not pay the $10 total to make list them, just so you can save it for free listings?
Oh yeah, right. No way. That's crazy talk to me, man. I don't even look at that. I feel so blessed when I get a chance to just list. I do not care. I put it on free listings once in a while. I'm like, hey, this is free. Ooh. But I don't even sign up for them. I mean, when they send you the little thing and you gotta like opt into it. There's been times where I haven't even opted into it and I'm listing 20 or 30 things at a time. Like, oh man, I should opt into the free listing thing, or whatever. So no, never worried about the free listing thing. Just because it's like, I just feel like when it's time to list, and it's just like it's so hard to get everything listed anyway that I would never put something off. Hey, I got a question for you though. So yeah, to answer your question, I would never put something off, but that's just, I'm the primary lister here, and that's how I would do it. But I got a question for you. So when you pay that 10-cent listing fee, What happens when it renews? Do you get charged out again?
Well, it depends if you do it as so similar or if you can do it on a freebie. Yeah, you would still get charged the list at the same price.
Is it the same price that you originally got charged? So what if you get it for free? I guess that's the better question. What if you get it free?
Like you might say you have 50 free listings. You do your 50 free listings. Next month, you might put in another, or you might add more listings to it for that month. So say you end up having 100 next month. The first half might be the freebies, or the second half, depending on when they end.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I wish we were organized enough to do something like that, but we just when it's time to list, I got to get them. I got a bunch of stuff I got to get on tomorrow, and it doesn't matter what the fee is when I go to list it. They're going on tomorrow in the morning, But we have some crazy fees too, I hate the fees, but like somebody said one time, it's not they're charging you fees, they're charging your buyers fees. It's just a chunk of the money you made. Just seems so crazy when that chunk leaves your PayPal. That's tough. But
because I don't know how many of the groups you're in on Facebook, but this was based on a Facebook group. The person ended up telling me, saying that they're selling $1,000 to $2,000 a month, and they were worried about paying $10 to list 100 items. And they're doing it out of their house. They're not even going to thrift stores or anything like most of us. They're doing it from their basement. They're selling stuff from their basement.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'd be more worried about where you're going to get items when those run out or whatever. I mean, as far as the listing fees, I don't really overall. I don't have any issues with the eBay fees. We seem to, with the margins we get stuff at, we're able to make money. It just is a little bit. I'm sure if you weren't paying attention and we were pulling all your money out of your PayPal, or it could get crazy real fast. If you start pushing out a lot of product and then you can't pay the fees and stuff. So.
I see we have a question from Swamp Picker. Has anyone done Antiques Roadshow? Well, I can guarantee you I haven't. So there's one answer.
Nope.
Yeah, nope, not me.
I love it though. It's fun to watch while you're packing or whatever.
Yeah.
And Tinkers Road Relics asks, do estate companies around you offer bios? Was always an easy way to fill the booth with a periodic bio of leftovers.
We don't have the hook on estate sale buyouts, but we do run into the occasional garage sale, yard sale, and that, you're right, that's a great way to fill up those booth items. A lot of times stuff that sells in the booth is just trinket stuff. It's just not real fancy stuff. It's just little figurines or mugs or whatever. A lot of times the stuff that gets left at the end of a sale, or estate sale, or garage sale, or whatever. So yeah, I wish we had a connection, somebody that would, let us take it, sort it, and then donate the stuff we don't want or whatever. Because the more trinkets, the better, I think, in the booth.
Okay, and that's my little bit of eBay questions. You list items for auctions, and how do you determine what goes to auction and what goes to fixed price?
I list probably, I would say, probably 70 to 80% buy it now. 10 to 20% buy now or best offer, and the very small amount that's left would be auction. And the way that we determine what goes to auction and what's buy it now is if it's extremely, extremely rare, it's the only time we put it on auction. I'll put it up at a high buy it now price, up in the clouds, before I'll put it, for auction. And the main reason for that is not because I think it's not going to go for, some kind of reasonable money in auction or whatever. I don't think it's as scalable to run an auction, So when you have, 500 items on, or 1,000 items on, it's not as easy to be managing all these or best offers, all these auctions and relisting and all this stuff. So, we really wanted to go to a system that was something we could kind of automate, and at least that's that part of it, the buying process. And I don't think we would change that just because we already get a lot of questions, a lot of interaction with the customers, and with an auction that goes up, and you have to manage a lot more. So, and with the or best offer, like I said, maybe 10-20% of the time we do that. That's just because it's something that we really don't have a great handle on after doing research, and we put it a little higher than we think it should be, and we put the or best offer on just as an option to move it. But most stuff we just put up at a high buy it now, and we move it down accordingly. We go through and do an audit, every 2 weeks, once a month, something like that, and boom, time to move down, buddy. Get sold. So we're starting to be a little bit more aggressive with those markdowns too, because that was something we did early on. Is we just have this massive inventory room of just tons and tons of stuff, and it's just sitting in there, and we're trying to get the best price out of it, but really, what's $5-10 on a $75-100 item? I mean, that's really not that big a deal if we could just get that money back and flip it again and again and again. So yeah, I think that there is some call for auction, but for the stuff we find, like I said, we're not antique dealers, we're not one-of-a-kinders. We find Sony Walkmans and bread and butter all day long. So when we do find something super cool and rare, we put it on auction, but that's about it.
Actually, good, Maureen. Sean just shared your comment to me, and to let you know I'm not cold, because we're actually at 82. Well, when before the show started, we were at 82 degrees, 89
Hello?
So, but he had another question for us.
Hey, I'll be right back, guys.
Okay. All right, Maureen, I'll answer your question, and we'll go from there until he gets back. You asked about setting your store on vacation for a week starting tomorrow. And has anyone done that before? I haven't set my own store on vacation because I don't have enough money to go on vacation. But if I was, I would figure out a way of doing it. But I would definitely ask if you're a part of the resource site, which I think you are, if I recognize the name of it, that you could ask some of the other more experienced sellers with stores. I don't know how often Sean does his store on it.
I've actually never done it. Yeah, I never go anywhere really. So, of course, we're hoping for June. Go to Jamaica.
Well, I know that some people say they do it. When they do it, they either set their prices really high or set it so the handling time is a certain amount of time, so they don't get in trouble or with their shipping time.
Yeah.
Well,
And that's pretty much just to keep top rated, I think. So.
Yeah,
Shipping time.
So Andrew, you have a store, right, on eBay?
Yeah.
Well, since you asked, Maureen's question was, have you ever? Well, I'll ask it in a different way. Though, have you ever set your store on vacation when you went to go out to Idaho or for a good set amount of time on vacation with your family?
Yeah, we've done vacation mode. We did vacation mode once. As I understand it, there's 2 different modes. I think you can go on vacation mode and completely shut it off, or you can go on vacation mode and still allow them to process orders. It's like their request or their option, but it says, hey, this isn't going to be shipped until they get back or whatever. So, yeah, it worked fine for us. I would say, it's going to take care of you because it's going to show the message right on the screen and warns people that you're not around. You're probably not going to get very many sales, to be honest with you, but probably a few. If it's a really cool item or whatever. So.
If they're already watching you, you might get a sale that way. Somebody might not really know that you're on sale and they're on vacation, and they're going to be like, "I want it now. I've been watching it for a month. I want it."
Sure. Yeah.
And that's one major plus for FBA is, everything is handled for you, really. I mean, there's a few little things customer service wise you might have to do, but there's nothing you can do, nothing you can't do with a computer somewhere. So it'll be super quick and easy. That's what's great about that. That's one good thing.
Yeah.
Any other comments in the chat? Or new people? Because I see we're getting up to 30 viewers now. It seems like we're getting more viewers as the longer we go.
Yeah, no new people chatting, but definitely get your questions in if you want, people.
Okay, now I think I asked this the last time you were on, but for somebody that might be new or might have some experience, what size booth would you suggest for someone that's looking into it?
I would say it's because it's going to be specific to where you're located. I would get something that something where you can spend 6 months, up front, and if you lose all 6 months, you're not worried about it. So if it's $100 a month, get $600 together, get $500 together, and go for it, and just think of it as an investment, because you will make money in there. You're not going to be out $500-600, but if you think about it like that, you'll really be motivated to get stuff in there and get it popping. And I think just a couple of months, you could be turning a profit in a lot of antique booths. But do your research. I would say what's more important than the size and what you pay is how many customers are going to be walking through there, and talk to the other people in there before you pull the trigger. Definitely, if you go into almost any vendor mall, you can run into the actual vendors. I mean, they're in there all the time, unloading stuff and touching their booth up or whatever. So just walk through there, start rubbing shoulders and talking with some of the other vendors before you actually commit. And if they're making money, you can probably make money too. But if they're losing money and they've been at it for a while, you might as well just move on, because I think most vendor malls, if somebody's doing it right, or everybody in there should be pretty happy. I know at our mall, there's very few people not clearing their rent. I mean, I think there is 40 plus vendors in there, and it's not like people are coming and going. Everybody's pretty much clearing their rent and making it happen. So find a really positive environment and make sure that it's actually profitable before you jump in. And then think of it as an investment. Just put up a couple months, give it your best effort, and you're good to go.
I see a question here from Mr. Sadie123. Did you sell the carousel that you did a video about?
No, I didn't sell it. The Zinger. Well, if it was the carousel, which is a separate thing, we did sell that, and I think that's what he's talking about. But we had another little carnival toy I did a video on recently, and it's a Zinger. It goes back and forth like that. But yeah, we sold that carnival toy. I want to say it was like, I think we got like $125 for it. But it turned out it got returned because those things are so delicate, man. The little fence around the outside was coming up, and it was coming up originally, and we disclosed that. And man, by the time we got it back, it was really coming up. So
Damn.
I don't remember I think we ended up just selling it in the booth, and that's the other thing about a booth, man. A booth is a great catch-all. You got something like that. What are you going to do with a return like that? You're not going to list it again and go through the same thing. Nah, you're going to put it on, put it in your booth or whatever. So yeah, we've had a couple of those. I think we had another one that we sold overseas, and they couldn't figure it out. The carousel, they said it didn't work or whatever. And every time they lit it up, it like flickered and this weird stuff happened, and I'm like, man, I tested that and we just packed it like crazy, like even though it was going overseas, I'm like, what is the possibility that it's broken, I mean, so we talked with them a little more, how messages go on eBay back and forth. I'm like, okay, well, if you want to return it, just let me know, or we can pay half or whatever. And a couple days later, she hits me back and she's like, oh, I figured it out. She's like, you're in the U.S. and I'm in England, and the plugins are different.
Sorry. Yeah.
So she got the proper plug-in, and it worked, and that's just slip of the mind, and it's a $100 carousel, so Yeah, those are good. The carnival toys, that's something I always thought of as just like cheap novelty crap. Just steer clear of it, Christmas, whatever. I don't even want to look at that. But there's some real good value in that stuff. The remakes of the carnival toys like the Zinger and all the merry-go-rounds, or not merry-go-rounds, what are those called with the horses? The carousel. Yeah. So yeah, they can be good. Yeah, I would say the majority of those, if they're in good condition, there's a couple good brands out there. You're looking 50 to 200, maybe even $250. So.
Yeah, some might know that Zinger as the zipper also.
Oh yeah. Maybe it is
right,
the
just
zipper. Maybe I'm just calling it the Zinger.
No, I think it was called Zinger. I think you're
okay.
right.
Okay.
But I think that particular one probably I don't think they would trademark zipper, but I guess they would. But yeah. I just know, like, around here, everybody would know that as zipper, but,
Uh-huh.
Let's see, we have a question from Joe Panico, and I'll answer this one. Well, I'll kind of answer it. I have no experience with wedding gowns, but yes, if have any luck with wedding gowns, I have a brand new, unaltered, with tags that his daughter changed her mind on. It was a retail $2,500 that he paid under $700 for. I don't have any experience with wedding dresses, although my daughter kind of was shocked when I actually picked out her prom dress on my own eye when she was fighting with her mom about what dresses to get. So.
I don't have any experience in the wedding dress game. Wearing them or selling them.
Tell the truth. Your wedding's next week, right? You're going as the bride.
Well, no, you had a wedding dress at one time, didn't you, Sean? You were trying to show
Yeah,
up?
I was trying to sell my niece's other dress that she wanted at first, and then she found another one that she liked better. And yeah, it was a little bit of a pain in the ass, only because I couldn't get the right pictures because I didn't have the right setup or anything. I mean, that, to me, you'd really need a good backdrop and good lighting, and because there's a lot of little.
Too.
Yeah, and it's huge. Yeah,
that's what I hate.
There's a lot of that little beadwork and stuff. I couldn't quite get the detail like I wanted. So it was tough. But she ended up giving it to my other niece, and I don't know where it went from then. But
yeah, big stuff is hard to list, man. Whenever we get a big coat or stuff like that, you really gotta have a big piece of muslin, and you gotta have a whole room wall dedicated to photographing something like that. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty big, and the train alone, I was like, how the heck am I going to do that? It just. But
yeah. My next question is, cause I don't know how. I know you go for Sony's and stuff like that. Now you're not really antique. You know, I keep saying antique booth, but how do you handle the knockoffs that somebody might say, like, you may think it's vintage, and they say, no, this is newer, it's a knockoff.
Well, we're pretty careful about anything knockoff or anything replica or anything dangerous, because we have run into a lot of different things that could potentially get us banned on eBay or Amazon, or it could potentially get us put in jail, so there's definitely crazy things that come through the pipeline. You just got to be smart about it and realize there's never a time where it's worth putting something on the internet where you're not sure about it, because that's going to fall on you. It's your job to be the guy that knows. If you're putting it on to sell it, then you're saying So that stuff we push to the booth, and we don't get involved in a lot of stuff like that. One time we did buy like 40 leather Coach purses from like really early vintage ones. But it was from an old lady, and they were hers, and we knew they were hers, and we just trusted her. And even though we weren't purse experts, we really knew, there's no chance of these being fake. So we did some stuff with those. I think we sold a few of those on the bay and some in the booth. But you really got to know. And we ran into stuff with, like with the Commodore discs. We could have sold all those Commodore discs online, but there's a real strong question of what was on all of them. And if you value your freedom, don't list stuff like that in lots because it could fall on you. It doesn't matter if you bought it, where you bought it, you have proof of buying it or whatever. In our situation, I'm super glad we did that because you really never know what you're selling. When you're selling media that could be copied or whatever,
That's a good point.
You could be doing a terrible, terrible thing, so and not even knowing it. So, for how much money? For a couple $100 or whatever, and that's what it came down to. Me and Jake were just like, hey, anything that's going to affect our defect rating or anything else, let's just push it somewhere else. We'll sell it on Craigslist or whatever. So.
Okay, and what would you guys do if, for some reason, your booth was no longer available for, say, there was an accidental fire or something? How would you guys handle not being able to have your booth?
Well, I would say we may look around a little bit for another one to potentially replace it, but most likely we would lose that avenue because it's really just a great filtration thing. It does so many different things for us. We'd probably start selling on Craigslist a little more. We've kind of stopped doing that because we can push almost anything out of Craigslist in the booth. So we'd probably get back into Craigslist and maybe look for another booth. But overall, it'd be a big loss to our business because I would say the booth is, I don't know, maybe a fourth or a fifth of our business, as far as what we bring in every month. So it's definitely good to have that role, and there's no, like I said, told Sean earlier, there's never really been a month where we've been upset that we're there. So.
Good. Anything in the comments, Sean?
Not much. Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Sadie says, can you sell a purse as fake if it's titled that way?
I think so. I think you can. But I think there's different levels of fake. That's what I would be concerned about. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure if you say replica or fake, they're expecting it to be fake. But anything that could potentially cause a return, that's just like a lot of times you'll get stuff that's sellable, but it's broken. It's still worth money, and people still buy it broken. If it's not selling for some really good coin, if it's selling for $20 broken, we're skipping that because it could be broken to a whole nother level than they think or whatever. That's sometimes trouble. Now, as far as the purse thing, I'm pretty sure you can say replica, but I do not know for sure. We've sold one or two, but sometimes those kind of slip through on the listings if you do it real quick and you get something on. So I don't know.
Okay. And you guys ever go to? I think I maybe asked this last time. I don't remember. You guys ever go to auctions and stuff like that to get stuff for your booth?
Back to the last question, Michael Bomberger. No, you cannot sell a fake purse. He probably does know. He know better than me. What was your question? I'm sorry.
I was asking, do you guys go to auctions often to get stuff, like an auction house or something like that?
We did quite a bit last winter. We found some things. The auction houses around here, fairly competitive, just like I think a lot of them are. We pulled in a lot of stuff. We had a few home runs, but I really, I'd rather go to the thrift and hit the garage sales. You're not going to have the opportunities at the thrift and the garage sales as you do at the auction. You see a lot of cool stuff, but there's definitely a lot of competition. And once again, with the antiques, you got to know what you're looking at, and we don't always know that. So I think a better place for us right now, where we're at, is going to be out in the field.
Oh, I see Sean wants to share something.
I got a couple messages saying they don't believe me. Here you go. The zipper, 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 zipper. But his was the zapper, and there is such a thing too as that. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. Told you so. Sorry, one of those things, you know.
Okay, cool. That's why I put it on you when you were starting to do that. Like, okay, he wants to share something.
Yeah.
Okay, and how often, how busy is your booth? Like, how often do you guys go in to stock items?
Um, I used to live out in the valley, so we used to do it a lot more. And now I live at the shop, so it's about 15 miles away from both of us. So it's a little bit different. We used to do it 3 times a week. You know, just go in, check everything out, move stuff around. It doesn't always have to be stocking. But now it's more we just go in there when we stock. I think the goal is maybe once a week, actual, every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks. It's not very good right now, and that's just because we get busy and stuff builds up in the other room. We build up a big pile, and then we eventually take it in. But if you're going to get in your booth, if you can get in your booth, the more the better. Even if you just go in and, everybody says move stuff around. But even if you don't move stuff around, you just go in and you just hit the other booths. Some of those relationships in there are just unbelievable. I mean, we've gotten all kinds of connections, picks. We've gotten picks from just being in there and somebody seeing our stuff and saying, "Hey, I got one of those in my basement." It was an arcade machine. So you never know what you're going to run into in there. The other people are doing the same thing as you, so it's definitely worth trying to socialize with them.
Okay. How often do you switch out products from the? Well, I know you just say you go every couple weeks now, but when you used to go regularly, how often do you switch out something that might not be selling? So you said, okay, we're gonna put it on eBay this week or this month.
Sure. Well, the process for us is typically it filters down. It starts at eBay. So if it's not good enough to go on eBay, that's when it appears in the booth. Or if it's not shippable on eBay or not shippable for profit kind of thing, then it goes in the booth. But everything pretty much on eBay takes a priority to anything else. And then it filters down, and if it does get put in the booth pile and it goes in the booth, I would say typically things that are in there, they maybe get cut down in price once. So if you've got a sled or something like that that's $50 and it doesn't go for a month, 2 months, we're cutting the price down pretty significantly. It's down to probably $35-$30 at this point after 2 months, and then after that it could get taken out after 3 months. So I would say 2-3 months right in there, things that really start to get stagnant. I mean, you went through a whole season at that point. And as far as seasonal stuff, we try not to put seasonal stuff in unless it's really, really hot. Like a runner sled or whatever those are called. That might go. Somebody might want that for their cabin or whatever. But true seasonal stuff like real sleds or whatever, something somebody's going to use in the winter, we try to stay away from that and try to time that right. Build it up at the shop or whatever, so we're not just taking up space and wasting time. But to answer your question, probably 2 to 3 months, and then it's got to go. And then from there, it gets donated.
Okay.
Or garage sale. Or garage sale.
2 questions. One, do you guys pick at the antique booths or antique mall that you're at, or?
Yeah, we have pulled quite a few things out of there. I found what was it? I don't remember the year on it. I found a Fire King Snoopy mug, which the Fire Kings are okay, but the Snoopy ones can be exceptional, especially the Red Baron. And we found a Red Baron in there, like the first week we were in there or something, for $3 or $2 or something, and we were just like, this place is gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
And then we don't pick in there a lot, we just kind of when we go in there. But then not too long ago, Jake pulled those purple and I think they're purple and green or purple and gray Super Soakers, the huge ones that are outlawed now. They had one of those hanging in there for $15, and
Wow.
I think they're worth like maybe $200 or $300. So they're really a nice little pull for a squirt gun. It's a pretty damn good find. But Yeah, he found that in there, and he ended up keeping it. Actually, he still got that
Uh,
thing. He lets his kid keep that thing. So yeah.
uh. The other one is, can we get another tour of the warehouse and stuff on a video
Yeah. Right now.
one day? Cool. No, you don't have to now. I just mean eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's changed a little bit. You know, it's a little bit different, and now there's an upstairs. So now there's a studio apartment upstairs.
Oh wow.
Um, so that's happening now, and
Well, that's where you were last time, huh?
yeah, that's where I was last time. I'm down here because I didn't want any fishy business with the Wi-Fi. You know, I want to be hardwired in.
Cool.
Well, my last question, so unless there's going to be any more questions or comments after this one, we'll see what goes from there, how long we'll go. What's the hardest part of having an antique booth, in your opinion?
Um, I would say the main challenge we have is just keeping it stocked, because we've never been in a situation where, you know, we're worried about not clearing rent or whatever. Everything's always been fine there. It's just the more stuff you put in, the more money you're going to make. So putting more stuff in and visiting frequently, I would say that's our biggest challenge, especially now. This season, that's going to be probably the toughest thing. Is just, you know, getting in there once or twice a week, no matter what. Even if we're not bringing stuff in, just get in there, you know, feel the pulse of what's going on in there, and rearrange stuff a little bit. But that's definitely the toughest thing for us, is just actually getting in there, finding the stuff, and blah blah blah. That's fine. I mean, we come across the stuff, but it takes discipline, you know, to set. Hey, this is Booth Monday. We're going in there every Monday, dude, no matter what. So you know, it's
So
hard to have that discipline, I guess.
I was going to say, so it's basically like eBay. If you don't list it, it's not going to sell. So if you don't go into the booth and put stuff in there, it's not going to sell there.
Yeah, it's exactly like listing. It's just like, it's real fun to go out and get it, but you know, take it on in.
That's
That's the
what matters.
listing
If you
process.
schedule, you know, your stuff, but like you said, it's Booth Monday or whatever. Is that just what comes up during the week, or do you say
No,
like
we have a
sit
good
down
schedule.
Sunday?
We have a good schedule going. It is difficult sometimes when there's not if there's not a booth pile, so you kind of got to wait for it to build up. But we do have a good schedule going, and we're still growing with that kind of thing. You know, both being able to sit down and have a schedule that we can both stick to and say, hey, you know, this is something I could do, and then doing it. You know, so we'll get there though, and this season's going to be the best one yet. You know, it's one of the first seasons where things have been very organized financially, and things are, you know, very organized on the schedule process. So we'll see how it goes, but yeah, that's one of the biggest challenges, just, you know, scheduling it and getting in there, man. It's tough.
Well, I see Michael Baumberger's asking the outlawed Super Soaker.
Yeah, there's one that was blowing kids' eyes out, so they took it off the market. Too much pressure, man.
Man. CSA Pickers came in the house in the chat. So did Alabama Pickers. Welcome, guys.
Hey, hope you got some questions lined up. I already got you with all my questions already.
Yeah. You guys should go check out CSA Pickers couponing channel and Facebook. Maybe Sandra will put a link in there. I could probably find it though too, but you should definitely do that. She does a lot of help for me, so I figured I'd shout her out. And
Okay.
There we go.
I'm not seeing anything in there. Or I don't have any more questions. How about this, Andrew? You got any questions for us?
Yeah, I got a couple for you. Let's see here. So, what's your guys' thoughts on eBay refreshing? So, there's a lot of talk about when you list stuff, other stuff starts to sell. You guys have probably talked about this a million times. I'm not on shows a lot, so I don't get to talk about Cassini and bullshit like that. But what are your thoughts on that? Is that a real thing? because it seems pretty real to me when I like, because it's so real to me. We'll do, we can easily do probably between the two of us, 80 to 100 listings in a day. But we've kind of not done that a lot lately, and I kind of think that maybe just doing daily listings is the way to go. If you putting up 10 a day, it's almost better than having a power day. Like Saturday night putting up 80, why not just put up 10 a day, 12 a day throughout the week, or whatever. So what are your guys' thoughts on that? Do you notice a difference in your eBay listings when you some people say just when you go in there and make modifications to your listing and save it. Do you think that's real, or do you think that's in their head?
I'll go. You saw me kind of smirk and laugh a little bit when you started asking that because I don't know if you catch Pickers Church in the afternoons.
Once in a while, yeah.
Well, today's topic was myths and all that, and that was one of the myths. What about doing that? Like, how do you get it? They decided more or less it's activity that can cause the casino to like what you're doing and everything else. Because I don't list every day like I should, as most people know about me. So when I have listed a lot of things, granted, one or two things might sell, but to me, when I don't list anything and I'm not selling, and then I sell one or two things, that makes me want to list more.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I believe it's just the activity, just the movement of your account and stuff like that. Although there's been a few times where I've had things up for 6 months or something, and things that I knew would sell, and like this last time was last month I think, and I had 3 things that I had up, nothing, no offers, nothing. All of a sudden they all sold on the same day. And it's like, what the hell? How'd that happen?
Yeah.
They were totally different things. One was like a older Wilton, chocolate mold, and another was like a 70s radio, and then I forget what the other thing was, but then again, I think it was just because I started listing some things. So
started doing something, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's just crazy. It makes me, want to move to like a daily listing, and it's kind of weird. Daily listing's kind of weird. Like you just kind of come in and it's so easy. It's 5 or 10 items. It's like it's just if they're ready to go and they're easy items, it's not that big a deal. So it's kind of a whole new world. Doing a little bit at a time instead of just doing the crazy huge, push, which was what we've done in the past. But
yeah,
that's always a big deal for us. It's going to be tough this year with the listing. I mean, we've raised our threshold a little bit, so we don't have as much small stuff. But it just gets crazy and it stacks up, and you just, you don't want to do it, and it's.
Yeah.
It's terrible. The guy that owns the building, he does a little bit of eBay himself, and he's got a good little strategy. I introduced him to eBay last year, and he's just been building a nice little business on there. And his strategy is, as soon as I have 10 items, I don't buy any more until I get them listed. And the main reason is you can always list 10 items. Anybody can sit down and list 10 items in whatever, in a day or a week or whatever it is, but when you start thinking about 100 items or 200 items, it's just so you're just looking at the big pile. You don't even know how many are in there. And that's so overwhelming compared to just 10, just do your 10, move on. And just do your 2 today and then do 2 more tomorrow, and then eventually you'll get to 10 or whatever it takes. But, break it up into little tasks. Yeah.
Especially some of the buyers or the resellers out there that buy a lot of things, like you guys and some of the others that when they go out, they're buying, whatever, 20, 30, 40 things, whatever it might be, And then if you get like the Commodore stuff, if you fall on something like that, holy crap, I'd probably not even bought it, if just because I know me, I'd be like, yeah, it can sit in the garage for another day. It can sit in the garage for another year,
Yeah, finally that stuff got listed, finally. At least the Commodore stuff's gone, but the Magi Nation, it's just daily now. We just sell probably 2 boxes a day, just every day, every day. I think we still got
I sent a couple in FBA. I can't remember.
Did you really?
That, but yeah.
Whoa,
just for the heck of it.
You should check and see, because if you sold it, I'll send in the other. I think we got at least probably 75 to 100 boxes left. So.
Oh man.
That was such a huge lot, but.
Okay.
I hope we find 4 or 5 more of those this summer.
Oh heck yeah, that'd be fun.
Joseph Hare, and I think he's meant auction in his question though. Yeah, I've never heard of a 3-day. Buy it now. But do you ever do 3 days for an auction?
I guess I would if it was something that was really hot. We've done variations. We've definitely done 3-day auctions before. I can't remember one that went really, really well though. Yeah, you're asking the wrong person. I really am not able to give you the details on how an auction works super well, because I never really pushed an auction to where it could really go. I mean, I see that sometimes it gets real competitive and back and forth, but with what we sell, there's usually no call for it.
Anything else that you see, Sean? You are funny comments right now. I'm not.
Yeah. Oh, that's all right. CSA or Sanjay, you have to take out the www dot on it, or the .com part or something like that. But yeah, just look her up at Couponing on a Dime on Facebook. Let's see. John, the $20 millionaire, says he lists a couple days a week, and he's pulling big numbers. In his case, maybe product specific. True, yeah, that's true. Who knows? I don't know what he sells. I've just heard good things.
Well, and hey, man, it seems like a couple times a week is almost enough. It's like when you slip to, like for us, I mean, there can be once a week, every 12 days, stuff like that. And that's when it starts to get really crazy for us, and we start to hit really stagnant times. But, yeah, I want to be doing some big numbers again.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. Maureen, the free pile picker, says the Illuminati runs Cassini. I think Amazon is taking over the world from the Illuminati. Dude, I should write a book like that. Just make up all kinds of shit and see what happens. Probably get shot or something. Might be disappeared. Ooh, where'd he go?
Yeah, any other questions, Andrew?
I see there's a question from CSA Pickers. Do you think Twitter helps with selling on eBay? Yeah, I would say to a certain extent. I think probably all exposure does, but I would say definitely automate it. And with saying that, automating it, figure out a cooler way to automate it than everybody else, because that eBay script is played out, man. That where it pushes it to your Twitter. People have learned to tune that out. But yeah, if you could automate it using like Hootsuite or some kind of pushing software, I think it could be good. We don't do a lot of like pushing our products outside of eBay, and a lot of that's just being lazy, and a lot of it is we really want to scale. So unless it sells on eBay, it's tough to promote it outside of eBay. Of course, if you're using Twitter to push people to your eBay account, yeah, I mean that's great. What do you guys think? I mean, like, you put something up on Twitter, you're not pushing more than like 30 or 40 people through that link, right?
No. Yeah.
I might follow that. Like, I follow Sean, and he hasn't been doing too many Twitters.
Nah, not too much.
Yeah, I've been doing some of my stuff, but I don't have that many followers. But say I have 30 followers. Somebody that might be following me might have 5,000. So if they retweet something that I tweet, there's another 5,000 eyes that are going to be may look at what, or half of that might look at what I'm offering.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely takes a strong effort too. I mean, the same thing with Instagram. We've put a lot of stuff up on Instagram, and our Instagram is Spokane Pickers, and it's a lot of fun. And we've even sold stuff off there, like I think vintage snapbacks and stuff like that. But you know, you just got to pretty much figure out where you want to put your effort and what it's going to get you. You know what I mean? And we have been kind of stretched thin, so we haven't pushed real hard on a lot of those areas. But I think they have potential. I think there's a lot of potential out there. I think one of the bigger potentials that I've ever seen that never actually took shape was the YouTube marketplace. That was a college picker idea from back in the day. And we did a little bit of it. You know, we started selling some things on our YouTube pretty regularly, and then it kind of fizzled out, and we fizzled out. You know, we stopped hanging around YouTube as much, and blah blah blah. But I think that'd be a great thing. Is hey, you know, turn those pickup videos into sales videos. You know what I mean? Start slanging all that
Chat
stuff.
sells a lot of stuff through the Hangouts and stuff.
There you go. I think that's a great way to approach your videos too, just because, you know, I know nobody's making a ton of money off of doing YouTube picking videos, so it's like sell some stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But then the other side of that is, like I was saying earlier, it's really hard to scale that. So it's like, okay, you're gonna wake up in the morning, you're gonna say, oh, here's my eBay sales. Let me print off all my eBay labels and send those out. Now here's my list of YouTube stuff. Let me deal with that, and you know that's tough to do. It's it's tough to have that be a priority. But no fees. That's good.
I see a question from CSA. She's asking. She says she uses TweetDeck. Do you use that? I have used it. I consider it still a Twitter because unless you want to sit there and hear every time somebody else tweets something, I don't know what really good it is unless you start following a lot of people. So.
Yeah, I've used TweetDeck off and on in the past, but my favorite was the old Hootsuite. I got that rolling really good for a long time. I would push stuff out through an old website called ping.fm, and Ping would send it to at least like 30 social media sites, and then it got shut down, and it's not the same anymore or whatever. But yeah, I haven't really been in the game since that, pushing stuff out through Hootsuite, and I think Hootsuite's changed now too. You can't push it. I want to say you can't push into Facebook pages, right, or something. Like every single software has its downfall, and doing it manually could be really good. One good thing about doing it manually is you really get a lot of great close interaction with the people that are on those channels instead of just pushing a bunch of crap out to them. So doing it manually might be a good solution. I just think it would take a really good, rigorous schedule, you know, once a day or whatever, and just push that out, take 30 minutes or whatever, and just make that happen every day instead of scheduling it. And also your stuff could be a lot more unique. You know, the scheduled, like I said earlier, that scheduled stuff on Twitter is just ridiculous. Everybody knows what that format looks like when you push your eBay messages, and even when you type your own, you know, you can see the link format. So it's like, do something unique, you know, and I think there'll be a good chance that it could really get rolling. People really, really connect on social media with stuff that's real and pure. It really goes a long way because they just pass it on to their friends because they feel it. And that's what it's all about, is really connecting with them, I think. Not that we're doing it, I'm just saying that's my opinion.
And another one from CSA. And do you use Pinterest? Yes, just started using Google Plus, looking for groups like car groups that would be interested in her t-shirts. I have used Pinterest, as Sean can probably attest. Well, CSA, you should attest if you're my friend and you see me pin something and I turn around and I post it on Facebook at the same time. So you'll see how many times I've pinned something.
Yep.
So.
I have not got into Pinterest. I browse on there, but I've not sold anything on there.
Yeah, they're going to have a buy button within the next year, I think.
Wow.
So if you
That
can,
would be
they're
nuts.
going to have a buy button on there, and somehow it's going to work out where they can figure out how they're going to work a feed and all that. So.
You guys have any opinions on the Spreecast paid shows?
No, I don't do. Every once in a while, I'll catch Catherine's show on Spreecast, but that's about it. I don't. Even I sign up to watch other people.
They do like that weird pay-per-view thing now. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I mean, shoot, if we could do it, why not? I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I saw a lot of the big dogs are doing it. A lot of FBA big dogs are doing it. And I
Uh,
was thinking, I'll pay $1 for an Andy Slammons
yeah.
street cast like that.
Is that all it is? Is it $1 or what?
That's what I thought. I thought it was. Don't quote me. I thought it was 99 cents, and I thought I saw like a quick flips and tips with Dwayne Malik on there, and I thought I saw.
Then again, they have thousands of followers, so I mean, 99 cents times,
Hey man, if it's valuable information, I don't see why
Yeah.
not. You know?
Yeah.
And you gotta believe if you're an FBA, if you're in FBA, you gotta believe at some point our bubble's gonna pop. So it's like,
Yeah.
the more people that poke it, the sooner it's gonna pop. You know what I mean? And I'm not against giving out free information, but I you know.
Yeah.
Just saying,
But it's
you know.
like I mean, we all have our secrets and stuff, but
Yeah.
then again, like you said, the more people that come in,
Yeah.
find
Yeah.
those secrets. But,
It'll always be good. There'll always be some cream for us all to enjoy on the top. You know. So. You know, just like anything, you know, lots of things that's happened to, and they still keep going. Like eBay, look at eBay. How long has eBay been just pushing? That's cool to me. I mean, I remember in the past, before I got involved in reselling, I thought about selling some of my stuff on eBay, and I was like, then this is like 6-8 years ago. I was like, oh, it's been around for so long. It's probably so competitive and so just bullshitty. Here we are, you know, and it's like it's still just pushing and pushing. And I know it's not like it used to be, but still, you know, that's impressive. Keeps going. People keep surviving.
Hey, that imagination. I did one of the starter decks, and I want to say I sold it for like only like $7-8, maybe 10, something like that. But it doesn't have the price on there anymore, so it's been a long time since I sold it. But so I need to look into it. It sold. If I remember right, with like in a couple months though, so it wasn't a fast sale.
Was it one of the little packs?
It was like in the box.
Okay, yeah. We ended up selling. What we do now is a full box of cards. If anybody out there does Magi Nation, we do a full box of Magi Nation dual cards sealed for $25 shipped, and then we do a full box of starter decks, which I believe is 10 decks, and there's 10 of them like that one you got, I think, in there, and that's $25 too. Those are sealed, and then we have some special editions called Magi Nation Nightmares Dawn. They're like a little bit rarer starter decks, and those are $37.95 shipped. So yeah, they're good money, and you know, we just decided to get rid of them. When you have 200 or 300 boxes of these things, $25 enough is plenty. So you know, we're just pushing them out slow and steady, and yeah. We even throw bonuses in there for a lot of the. We have so much Magi Nation stuff that a lot of times, you know, we'll throw in an extra deck. You know, we got a lot of stuff just laying around that's loose, so we'll throw in extra cards and decks, and man, we've got so many amazing reviews since we've been selling that Magi Nation. It's unbelievable. I mean, people's lives been changed by Magi Nation.
Did you guys you guys still have a whole bunch of the shirts left, or did you get rid of all those so far?
No, I think we've got to have 40 of those left or so, 50 at least. Yeah, we haven't been selling them very fast. That's crazy. You got such good money for them, because I think ours are on for 20. Ours are on for 20. You can't get rid of them.
Dude, I don't know, man. Those were the first things to go. They were quick.
Yeah.
Within like the week, I want to say, if I remember right.
Yeah.
You
need to have you teach us how to write a listing. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy. Didn't you?
I'll make a video on that for sure. Yeah.
How much did you get out of that? Sure.
25 each.
Yeah, we're struggling at $19.99 shipped.
Man, I got lucky. See, like, here's Imagination Dual. Oh, this is the complete base set booster box. Oh, 36 packs. Never mind. $50. Never mind. I was thinking it was something else, but.
Yeah, the people that buy them are real characters too. I'll tell you what. if you're into Magi Nation, you are a pure breed. I'll tell you what. It's it's pretty crazy, man. A lot of the people that are buying them, like, they don't have eBay accounts. Like, they just create the eBay account just to buy. Have you ever experienced that with certain things? Like, a lot of times
Yeah.
people will just create an eBay account because they want that item.
Yeah, I've had a couple of those.
It's crazy.
Well, we're at the hour and a half mark, so unless there's any more last minute questions, we're going to start getting ready to shut this down. And I want to start by first thanking H for coming back again after X amount of months. I know he's doesn't do too many videos, so when he says he's going to be on the show, unless he has issues, he's usually here for you. And let everybody know we are not having an hour show next Sunday. I kind of just decided that because I did do a post in the Reseller Society asking, and only about 5 people said yes to wanting the show, and there were a couple other people that said no, and then comments were yes and no. And it is Easter, so I didn't really offer to celebrate Easter with their family and whatever.
That's a week and a half.
Oh yeah, week and a half. Good.
Yeah,
good.
next Sunday is 2 weeks. I mean, not a week and a half.
Yeah,
Next
2
Sunday is the 29th. Was he
I'm
gone?
having
Retro aficionado.
Yeah, I have to start remembering my own schedule. Okay.
You should. You have to remind me so often.
In 2 weeks, we're not having the art show. And the week after that, we are having Jeff Davidson on for about Bonanza, since he's having a lot of good luck selling over there. So, shall we say anything before we let Andrew end it tonight?
Thank you all for joining. Thank you for chatting and asking questions and all of that. Thank you for listening to me stumble over just about everything I say. And subscribe to Cool Toads.
Hey, thanks a lot for having me on, Sean and Chris. I appreciate it. It's been a really good time. It's always good catching up with you guys.
Oh yeah, and thanks for joining us tonight too. I could have said that first.
Hey, no problem.
Fail. I say it other times. I'll say it afterwards, but I guess I should say it before. Anyway, go ahead, man. Sorry.
No, I was just saying, hey, thanks for having me on. It's been fun.
Everybody, thanks again for showing up, and we will see you next week with Retro. And if John is he going to be talking about Craigslist?
Yeah.
Okay, Craigslist it is, people. So if you want to learn how to, even though you got to worry about safety, you can still make sales on Craigslist. So we'll be covering that next week.
I have a couple suggestions for safety. So make sure I remember to tell them.
All right, see y'all later.
Thanks.